Well, so now let's go to the second section, which starts at the 8 minute and 7 seconds, I guess. Let me check it out. Yeah, 8 minutes and 7 seconds. He changed this pattern. He was not playing a pattern, but he starts now to use a rhythmic pattern, pretty clear, and he keeps playing with this dominant 7 and dominant sus4 sound, so he starts doing something like this with the same chord, which is a part of a C dominant drop 2. So he starts with and then the same, but in the 4. Turns back. And he start playing this same pattern like for almost 3 choruses. It is like a kind of, he's supporting the rhythm section for the sax solo to really get a great development. I mean, I don't know how to explain it in English, but he is like painting a really solid ground where the saxophone player can start to build something more complex, and that's why I think that he starts playing pretty clear. It's pretty constant and it's pretty easy. He makes a kind of subtle variations. For example, at the end of the 3rd chorus, instead of this, he used a F major triad sound, and he started to move the soprano voice like C, D, E, D, C. So he played something like this. Here it goes. So he's still playing with this sound of the sus4, we are in G7 chord, and he's playing this C, but he resolved it into the 5th and the 3rd thing. He's playing also the 9, major 9, It's a kind of weird sound over a dominant chord, but it works. And by the end of the 4th chorus, the 4th chorus of this new pattern, he just changed the way he's playing. He's starting with the 3rd, the natural 3rd, the major 3rd of the chord, and he will start to playing with the 4th, and then resolve it. So he start this kind of subtle change at the end of the 4th chorus. He played. Here it goes. playing this D and E and C and E. It's the same game of sus7 sound and dominant sound, and after that he keeps playing the same pattern but with this little change. Now he will start with the fourth and he will resolve it to the third. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, these little variations he's doing, but they give like a little refresh to your ears, you know what I mean? Like, I think he plays these little variations for you not to be bored at it, you know, like he is not playing the same over and over again. He makes this kind of little variations for you to say, wow, it's cool. And you know, I think Kenny Burrell and Bernie Kessel sometimes use the same this same structure. It's pretty interesting way of comping. Sometimes you just get bored at playing the same chords, but these guys really did it a lot, and well, they just made this kind of little variations. And well, this is basically the second section. Let's go to the third one. Okay, let's start with the third section, which starts at the 11 minutes with 43 seconds. It's pretty interesting because he changed the chords he's playing. Well, before of that, he's playing something like that like this in the section 2. But before the third section, he will give us a little taste of what he will play after this chorus, because on the last chorus of the second section, the fourth chord, you know, the fourth rate, he, instead of this, which is a E major triad with the 9, you know, E flat, G, B flat, and F. So he will play this on his last chorus of the second section, and after that he will play something like this. Change the rhythmic pattern, you know, to give this kind of little refresh to your ears. And he changed the chords too. Now he's playing this kind of major triads with the 9, which is for example, this is a B flat major add 9, you know, and he is still playing with the third and the sus4 sound, you know. He's moving this. We are playing over C dominant chord, you know, and he's playing with the fourth, the F, and he resolved it into the third. You know, so in this kind of chord we are playing B flat, which is the seventh of the chord, D, which is the 9, F, which is the fourth, E, which is the third, and G, which is the tonic. It's not a complex chord, but the change of the chords and of the range, you know, is playing this in a kind of most higher range, you know. It's kind of good. He will basically play this, just one chorus, and after that the saxophone solo just gets over, and Green come back to the last pattern. You know, because as I told you before, this kind of register, you know, on a low range, gives you more body to this section, to the rhythm section, sorry. So the organ starts to play this kind of solo, and when we return to this pattern, and after the first chorus he will to this third pattern, you know, and he wanna be play a lot more. I mean, there will be some times where he will play something like you know, like he's playing the G7, and after that a G sharp 7, and he came back to the C dominant chord. I think this is just to give a little kind of tension, you know, because sometimes the organ is playing this kind of voices, you know, like pretty dissonant, and when they start to reaction to that kind of sound. So there's just two times where he played this kind of substitution. One will be here and the another one will be something like that, you know. And what, I don't know. Well, so this is a kind of the third section, and then let's go to the fourth and last one, which is pretty interesting too. So, well, let's go to it. Well, now let's go to the last section of thumping. In this section, Grand Green start playing this chord, which is like a, you know, like a minor 7 flat 5. We have an E, B flat, D, and G over C dominant chord, which is just like a C dominant chord with a 9. This is all. And he started playing something like you know, like a A minor 7 flat 5. I don't hear he's playing this this string, but probably he played it. It's just that the recording is not pretty clear sometimes. But well, he come back to this drop G7 drop 2 shape, you know. In the second chorus of this last section, we will find this stuff I told you before about this. At the end of the second chorus, he will be playing. You know, but it's just like a way to create this kind of tension. You know, I think it really works. And well, that's all about the Upshot recording and the green comping on it. It's a kind of comping which requires this kind of approach, because you know, one of the secrets of it, I think, it's to be really clear on your attack, on your pick attack, you know. The most of the recording, Green is pretty clear on what he's doing rhythmically speaking, you know, like it's a pretty rhythmic stuff. He is not playing like, you know, he's supporting the rhythm section. This is a characteristic of this kind of comp. And what else? Well, I think this is all. I hope you have understood what I tried to explain here. I'm kind of driving crazy because I'm not used to think all this kind of musical stuff in English, you know, like the name of the chords or something like that, the name of the tensions. But it's a good exercise for me, I guess. So well, that's all, Robert. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and if you have any doubt about it, don't hesitate on asking me. I will really happy to try to help you. And well, that's all. So see you in the next lessons. Bro, have a great day there.